I believe that Charlie Kirk's murderer should be put to death and that his execution should be publicly, nationally televised.
Why do Trump Christians, white Trump Christians, love killing so much? The pro-life party, the family values party, the party of Jesus Christ, the man who said, suffer the little children to come unto me, and that it's better to have a millstone, a giant, a stone that they mill, they sharpen, a giant millstone tied around your neck and have you tossed to the bottom of the sea to be dead, to drown to death, than to harm a child. The same Jesus who said to take care of the poor, to help heal the sick and the infirmed, to support the downtrodden and the oppressed. That guy, that same party, that same religion, also wants public executions witnessed by children of people they don't like, of people who they believe are a threat to them. None of it makes any sense. And this is a pastor. This is Joel Webbon, the guy who bemoaned, what am I going to tell my daughter when she sees people who have cultural garb? He called it Hindu garb, is what he called it. Hindu garb. Racist, bigot, freak, racist, white Christian nationalist. Taken up for it. Of course, he's going to opportunize relative to the killing of Charlie Kirk. And in this clip, he's saying we need to televise, publicly broadcast nationally on television, the execution of the suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk. Because it's a deterrent for other people who might be thinking about carrying out wicked deeds, I think is the phrase that he uses. Wicked deeds against conservatives, against Christians. Not if you got wicked machinations against a liberal or a Democrat, but if it's against a conservative, we need to broadcast these executions on national television. Watch pastor, follower of Jesus, teacher, shepherd of a flock, Joel Webbon.
It needs to be proportional justice. It needs to be fair justice. There's a fair trial. It needs to be swift justice, not delayed. And if it's a public national crime, like the case of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, then that justice should be carried out publicly. What do I mean? I'll speak in no uncertain terms. I believe that Charlie Kirk's murderer should be put to death and that his execution should be publicly, nationally televised.
It's amazing to me how much fondness these Christian nationalists have for the Old Testament. Very little talk about the words, the red letters in the Bible. If you're not a Christian or you're not evangelical, I don't know how it is in other faiths. I grew up in this one. So there's the red letter editions of the Bible, which all of Jesus' words, the words that he spoke purportedly in the New Testament are printed in red. So this is from Jesus. Paul's words, they're not in red. Jesus' words are in red, right? So it's interesting to me that they are so fixated on Old Testament style justice. But the other thing that I find super fascinating is he asks the question, well, what do I mean? And then he acts irritated that the question was asked, that he has to explain it, even though he's the one who asked the follow-up of himself. We see you, Joel. Everyone sees you. Right Wing Watch sees you. Thank you to Right Wing Watch for putting these types of clips together. The ever pressed into service staff over at Right Wing Watch, whose job is to watch these kind of maniacs say horrific, racist, bigoted things, supporting fascism. Not supporting freedom, not supporting loving one another, not supporting love the Lord thy God with all your heart, soul, mind, and effort and being, and also love your neighbor as yourself. Not that. They have to watch this kind of shit, this kind of evil, this kind of totalitarian nonsense, Christo-fascism on the rise, getting a second drink from the well because of Donald Trump. So thank you, Right Wing Watch. I'll put a link below in the description for you to donate. If you got $5, help their work, support their work. It's very important. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this, about Joel Webbon, about Christian fascism. It is a pernicious force in our world, and I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. Before you do, though, make sure you're subscribed to this channel on YouTube. We are marching steadily ahead to 1.5 million subscribers, and you could be number 1.23 million. I don't even know where it is right now, but I would appreciate your support in that way very much. Free to subscribe, free to like and follow the Facebook page, Dollemore Daily. It's also free to communicate. You can comment below this video, and you can call the voicemail line and leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. If you want a palate cleanser from this kind of hatred and nonsense, you can check out dollemore.com. And we're selling a children's book that is talking about gratitude. Talk about a palate cleanser, gratitude. It's called The Grateful Child. It was written by my best friend of over 30 years, the guy who almost died when we went on vacation in Scotland. He knows something about gratitude, and I'd love for you to check it out. In fact, here is a little something about the book. I really hope you'll check it out. Many of you are aware that my dear friend and brother of choice, not of blood, Brett McAfee, suffered a near-fatal medical emergency last summer while our families were on vacation in Scotland. I appreciate to no end the outpouring of support for Brett that you all gave. And I'm also very happy to report that he is safe and healing and working that long path of recovery. What I've probably not told you about Brett is that beyond being an excellent friend, he's also a talented writer. We have been the best of friends since we were kids, and I have been continually inspired by his creativity and by the truly singular take that he has on life. Over 2 decades ago, he wrote a poem called The Grateful Child. It's an acknowledgement of all the simple strengths that we tend to overlook. Written from the perspective of a young person, multiple grateful children express gratitude to their parents for the elements that make them who they are. The accounting of these everyday gifts inspires a clear reminder that we should not take anything for granted. I've shared Brett's remarkable poem with numerous people over the years, and a reoccurring response is that this should be a book. Well, we finally decided to listen to those people. The Grateful Child is not only a children's book for adults in your life, it's also an adult's book for children in your life. Everyone will appreciate its straightforward yet elegant celebration of life's little endowments. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code and order your copy or copies today. But this being an illustrated book, we could not survive on the words alone. To pair with Brett's touching words, we searched all over for an illustrator who could bring The Grateful Child to visual life. We landed on somebody right here in the community from this show. Leah Farshid is an internationally acclaimed illustrator who, like you, is also an audience member. The moment we saw the first images that Leah drew to accompany Brett's text, we knew we had a perfect combination. It brings me tremendous joy to share my best friend's beautiful poem and Leah's spectacular images with the world. Everyone can benefit from The Grateful Child, just as I benefit from Brett's lifelong friendship. Share this beautiful book with your children. Share it with your parents or other relatives. The Grateful Child is an easy and exceptional way to show appreciation for someone in your life, young or old. Support someone you love and support this channel by giving The Grateful Child. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code. I am pretty sure your children need a copy. And your mom, your nieces, and your nephews, your Grandpa Charlie too. Don't forget Grandpa Charlie. I think he'd love this. Make The Grateful Child a part of your life. It has been such an excellent part of mine.